What's up, everybody? My name is Jason and welcome to Small Biz. In today's video, we're going to talk about how the Trump tariffs initially shocked the market, sending us much lower at the open. But the obvious question of this day is, with the Qs pushing 520 as we speak, is the worst over? All that and more coming in at All right, ladies and gentlemen, God bless each and every one of you. I hope you're having a great start to your week. 519 and a quarter at or near the highs of the day. I want to say, first of all, how proud I am of the almost 500 strong inside of our Discord. Not only have I delivered a dozen videos today, yes, a dozen videos, a minute or two long inside of the Discord, but we were buying the snot out of Open and BidF, two stocks I've told you about. Got some BidF as low as 131, last trade 143 and a half. Look, simply put, there's a 50% chance we saw the worst of this correction related to tariffs. However, as I've been saying now for days, we're range bound. 530-ish on the Qs, 507, which was the low from last week. Until we break up and through or under either of those levels, it's going to be choppy. A lot of technical damage has been done in names like Tesla and in particular NVIDIA. Interest-related stocks, not just Open, but anything tied to the strength of the economy or the 10-year has been extremely volatile. But in the case of the 10-year, we just broke down and through, for briefly, 4.5%. And that's a bearish head and shoulders that I pointed out multiple times when we pushed down through that neckline at 4.5. So I do not think that rates are going higher than 4.8%. And I'm going to make the case, as I've done many times in the last several months, this is 1990. During the 1990s, when the S&P was up eightfold from the low of 1990 to the dot-com bubble burst in March of 2000, the 10-year was stuck in the fours, just like it is now. We had above average growth, just like we do now at 3% plus GDP. We had wars back then, just like we do now. We've got volatility. We're also going to have, in my opinion, some mild recessions a time or two before we get through not only Trump's term, but whoever takes over after that. But as I've said 1,000 times and one, this, in my opinion, is the greatest secular bull market in human history. Ed Yardeni, another guy, Morningstar, Chris Giovacco, many others. Back then, it was the millennials and the internet that Al Gore invented. Now it's Gen Z combined with the millennials, twice as large as the boomers, and AI. When you add in $6 trillion of dumb retail cash, still on the sidelines, didn't get in at the bear market lows of 2022 when we did, when we were buying stocks like the IWM as low as 162, last trade 219. There's a lot of dumb retail money out there that still has their unlubricated thumb up their ass. I'm not sure they're ever going to take it out. Very few IPOs. Back when I was a broker from 93 to 07, we had IPOs all the time. I used to call a guy up, listen, I got a stock going public at $5 a share. We think it's going to double at the open. Before I could finish my sentence, they said, I'll take some. How much can I get? Hold on. All I can get you is 1,000 shares. Well, wait a second. Actually make that 500. Can you make it 2,000? I'll tell you what, if I give you 1,500 shares right now, will you go double on the next one? Done. These days, there's no IPOs. There's no supply. You've got massive corporate buybacks from Amazon, Tesla, Google, etc. So when you have twice as many investors, savers, and spenders now in millennials and Gen Z versus the boomers of 1990, is it possible we're going to 8x in the next 10 years like we did in the 90s? Or perhaps even more? Yes, in fact, in 2015, 10 years ago, you could have bought the Qs in the 50s. I regret deeply that I didn't buy more of it back then when I was employed in corporate America. It's 10x since then at $519 a share. I'm telling you right now, we could be sitting at 5,000 by 2035. And at that point, when the millennials start to retire like the boomers did in 2000, shit's going to hit the fan. You're going to see the biggest crash in human history, 50 trillion in debt, a bankrupt social security system, massive unemployment due to AI replacing human capital. The list goes on, but this guy right here, who's 165, I believe, and this many losses in the last 18 months, will have you prepared. We'll be easing our way out of the Qs into something like the SQQQ, which is the short or the inverse ETF of the Qs, and then we'll crash an average of 9.6 months through a bear market. And sometime in 2036 and 7, we'll get out of the SQQs back into the fucking Qs, 50 or 60% off of where we got out of them in the first place, and we'll be stacking motherfucking cash to the ceiling when everybody else is going, oh, the window. In closing, we are witnessing a legend that will never be repeated in the entire annals of human history. Trump's a freak. He rattled the entire fucking world, brought them to their knees, and he said, I'm the boss. There's going to be some pain, America, but I'm the fucking boss. I don't care if you're our allies, Canada and Mexico, the UK, France, Germany, or our enemies, Russia, China. I'm the boss. You're going to seal up the border, we're going to cut off the flow of drugs, and we're going to balance the trade deficit. And unless you follow my fucking directions, I'm going to bankrupt you with tariffs. Do you understand what the fuck I'm telling you? I would love to be a fly on the wall because I've heard the stories of when he told Putin, listen, you go into Ukraine on my watch, I'm bombing Moscow. That's a verified fucking fact at the G20 meeting. And Bolton said something, and they don't like each other anymore, that he told Rocket Man, listen, Rocket Man, I want to make you rich. I want to put hotels and casinos up in your country. But if you send any more of those fucking missiles over Japan on my watch, I'm going to nuke you. Gangster. They fear him. They respect him. And he was out on the tarmac 16 hours deep in his day yesterday, answering news for damn near questions from the fake news damn near an hour at 7:30. And then when he walked away to get on the helicopter, he still had a pep in his step. He is an imperfect man, but we are beyond blessed as a nation in this country to have this motherfucker at the helm. In the matter of 48 hours, he went from Justin Trudeau and the lady down south, and I use that term lightly. I'd like to use another one that starts with B, saying, oh, we're going to put countermeasures, we're going to do this, that, and the other. Bullshit. We're sending drones and troops in Canada to the border, 10,000 in Mexico to cut off the fentanyl. And there's rumors that Germany is ready to concede before he slaps the EU with tariffs. They're going to balance the fucking deficit across the nation, across the world. And what a crime, right? What a crime. We seal up the border so no more murderers and assassins and child rape fucking predators come across this border. And when we throw them out, they're not going to get back in. Or maybe we can say cut fentanyl in half and it doesn't kill any more of our innocent men, women, and children. And instead of getting fucked in the rear end without any lube whatsoever and sending hundreds of billions of dollars to countries like China, we're going to even out the books so that we as a nation can prosper. We as a nation can bring down the inflation. We as a nation can seal up the border and stop the invasion of not only illegal aliens, but drugs that are killing our people. And I don't know, over the next 4 years, maybe double or triple in the stock and crypto market. And yes, by the time this bull market is over in 2035, I don't know, maybe 10x and beyond. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, always remember that I love you. And I'd love to see you join us right now at trysmallbiz.com, where you can still get in the door for $20 the first 2 months.